Before I begin my speech, there is something you must know about me. I am a cheerleader. Now that you know that about me, does it change the way you look at me? Does it change how smart I am? Am I still kind? Am I still an athlete? Why am I asking these questions? Stereotypes. They are all around us, and even if we think we do not believe them, sometimes they make us jump to conclusions about people. Stereotypes are unfair beliefs that all people or things with a certain characteristic are the same. Stereotypes don't just occur on their own. Media can make people believe stereotypes by constantly reinforcing them by making a character or person look or carry out a certain way. Stereotypes can also be an unconscious bias. You may not even realize the discriminatory thoughts going on in your head. This could cause dangerously wrong ideas about people or things. In all movies with cheerleaders in them, cheerleaders are portrayed as senseless bullies who just wave around pom-poms. Not only is it unfair to generalize someone's personality by their sport, it is also unfair to portray the actual sport incorrectly. The real sport of cheerleading is nothing like you see in the movies. For example, in all 5 Bring It On movies, cheerleaders are portrayed as the stereotype of unintelligent bullies. These movies are filled with quotes that make unaware or oblivious viewers believe these lies. In Bring It On, All or Nothing, a skinny blonde cheerleader says to the captain of her team that she has to eliminate another teammate because of her weight. She points out, "There's never been a fat cheerleader before." This quote implies that cheerleaders bully other people and each other because of their weight. It also implies that only one body type is okay for the sport. By the way, 90% of the girls on this team are blonde. My experience in cheer is highly contrasting. There is diversity on my team, including ethnicity, hair color, and body type. I feel that my experience is completely distinctive from what I see in movies, and I appreciate every member of my team. Cheerleaders are not only depicted as bullies, but they are shown as unintelligent. In the same movie, the captain is moving, and a team member realizes how important she is. She asks, "If you leave, who will help me remember my locker combination?" The captain answers, "It's your birthday." The other cheerleader responds, "My birthday is April." The captain then responds, "Your combination is the digits of your birthday." The other cheerleader asks, "What are digits?" Keep in mind, these are high schoolers we are talking about. Don't you think any average high schooler would know what digits are? Although this is a satire, it is still offensive and makes viewers think of all cheerleaders as dumb. On a more personal standpoint, there are restrictions based on grades on my team and others as well. Cheerleaders are not allowed to compete if they have bad grades, and my team does not allow you to compete if you have below a C+ in any class. Academics are very important in the cheerleading world. Personality traits and physical attributes aren't the only qualities stereotyped. The actual sport is also depicted completely wrong. They are portrayed as just waving pom-poms and yelling cheers. That, however, is no longer the case. Cheerleading is no longer like it was in the 70s. All-star cheerleading started in the 80s and became popular in the 90s. In all-star cheerleading, there are no pom-poms, football teams, or cheers. A typical all-star cheer practice includes working on stunting, tumbling, and conditioning. Stunts are basically structures made completely out of people, often one on top of another. Non-cheerleaders tend to refer to it as throwing people in the air. Tumbling is similar to gymnastics, where it consists of flips, back handsprings, etc. The average cheerleader practices 8 hours a week, plus extra tumbling and conditioning classes. Not only is cheerleading a sport, it is a dangerous one. It's the 8th most dangerous sport in America, the 9th being gymnastics, and the 7th being wrestling. Cheerleading also accounts for 2/3 of catastrophic injuries in female sports. So why do I do it? Cheerleading has taught me all about stereotypes and why it is important to be aware of them. You don't realize that you are believing other biases until one is applied to you. I now know to evaluate the situation before just defining someone by the stereotype the media applies to them. To conclude my speech, I would like to teach you how to be fair about stereotypes in 2 simple steps. First, ask yourself if your judgments on someone is based on a stereotype or an actual action. If it is based on a stereotype, remind yourself that who they truly are as a person is based on actions. And treat them as anybody you know nothing about. I hope my speech helped you realize the dangers of a stereotype, why you shouldn't believe them, and what cheerleading is truly like. I'd like to show you my team's routine so you can see how difficult cheerleading can be.